Hello, hello everybody, can you see me, can you hear me? I hope that you can, let me know if you can, and all of that good stuff. I'm just trying to get my screen up so that I can see your lovely comments. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing tonight? Hi Eileen, I'm good, how are you? How are you today, lovely? Okay, so there's people join in, that's lovely. Good to see you all. Welcome to my living room, once again to my crafting corner. Today we're going to be upcycling this photo frame that I found in a charity shop. As you can see, I've already prepped it a little bit. So the picture that you saw that I posted for this live stream, it was like a grey frame. It had been painted by whoever owned it before. They painted it in this grey chalk paint, I think. So I applied one coat of gesso over everything. So I applied one coat of gesso over the frame and then a coat of gesso over the glass part. So I didn't take the glass out because it's actually stuck down in there with like glue and stuff. So I honestly could not be bothered to like mess around with it and take it out and stuff, so, because we're gonna be putting a mold inside there anyways. So it makes no difference whether the glass is there or not. So I just gessoed over it, and the gesso on the glass is still a little bit tacky, so I'm gonna have to dry it before I get started with it. But we're going to put the mold inside of it. So this is the mold that we're going to use. This is Elysian Clockworks from Redesign with Prima. I'll find the mold itself. Hang on a second. I should have thought about it earlier. There it is. There's the mold itself that I made the casting out of. So this is a resin casting, and I applied some gesso over it as well. So it's just Finnabar's heavy white gesso. Hi Claire, hi Sam, hi Moika, how are you girls? I'm okay, Claire. Thank you. How are you? Oh, and I took the, got my throat. And I took the bit off of it. This was a standing frame, so it had, you know, one of these things that you can stand it on. But I don't want it. I'm probably just gonna attach like a picture hanging hook on the back and then hang it on the wall, so that it's like a decoration. Or maybe I'll keep it as like a prop for when I take pictures or whatever. So something like that. Something along those lines. So the plan that I have in my head is obviously we need to glue down the mold, and then we're going to paint it in this vintage moss from Paint Couture color, but we're not just going to paint it with this color, we're also going to add some of this, what is it called, texture powder from Finnabar. I've never actually used this, so I've had this for a long time, since my design team box came in October from Finnabar, and I've never actually kind of got around to using it. So I'm curious to see the result, I'm curious to try it out. This is basically a powder that is supposed to thicken up your paint and give it a texture. So we'll see how that goes, because I want it to be like all vintage and stuff. And then we're going to apply some Little Birdie Crafts One Step Crackle Medium, and then after that we're going to paint it in black. So there's going to be some more glamorous look going on, because also after that I think I want to apply some gold metallic flakes. I don't know, we'll see what the result looks like. So we'll have some of this vintage moss peeking through the cracks. Hi Iris, how are you? So okay, let's get started. I'm gonna twist this around as always. It's gonna get a little bit shaky for a second, but there you go. That was fast, wasn't it? I think I'm finally maybe getting there with turning that around. Oh, hang on, that looks a bit crooked. I don't like how crooked that looks. Am I turning it the right way around? There we go. I think so. Right, I'm gonna have to put this other light on, otherwise it looks a little bit dark there. Good. Okay, so first I'm going to glue in this mold on the inside, so I need to dry this gesso quick time, so that we can put some glue over it. But yeah, I bought this frame, when was it? On Monday, alongside with the teapot and some gorgeous lace. I'm going to show you while I'm drying this, because I've got nothing better to do. I bought a whole huge roll of lace for £1.49. Can you imagine? I thought I have to get it. I mean, I don't really use that much like lace in my projects, but like actual lace, you know, but it can't hurt, right? Having it. So thought, you know, for that price I need to get it, because it's gonna come in handy. And of course this gorgeous frame, I just couldn't pass on an opportunity to get it. Okay, so I'm just checking to make sure I'm holding the frame the right way up. I don't think it really makes a difference, to be honest, but yeah, so I'm just gonna use super glue to glue down the mold. I'm gonna try not to glue down my fingers. I'm gonna try and position it in the right spot, kind of in the center, and then press it down. So now we're gonna have to mix some paint with that texture powder. So I'm very, very curious to see how it's gonna work, and I hope that you guys are gonna enjoy this experiment, in case if you also haven't used this kind of stuff before. Hopefully it'll give you some ideas of where maybe you could also use it. Love the frame and beautiful lace. Where was that? It was in my local Oxfam, actually. I know, Sam. Maybe I can snip some off and post it to you, because this is probably going to last me a lifetime. So you send me that Mod Podge, I'll send you some lace, all right? We'll do a swap. Hi, Colleen, how are you? So first I'm going to take some of this vintage moss paint. I'm just gonna scoop it out with my palette knife. I don't know how much I'm gonna need, so I did like 2 scoops for now, and then if we need to mix up more, we can mix up more, right? Because I'm over storing paint in my everywhere when I mix it up too much. Okay, so see, this still has the seal on it because I haven't used it yet. You just can't get around to using every single product. Okay, let me. Ooh, it is like a very fine sandy texture. Right, so I'm gonna take a clean palette knife and just sprinkle some in. I don't know how much I'm supposed to add. The instructions don't specify, so I don't know. But then I take this stick and I'm gonna start mixing it all together. It does say on the jar that it's like it's supposed to make your paint dry faster, I presume, because it, you know, it makes it more textured, and because it's a powder, it probably soaks up some of the water content in the paint. It probably makes it a little bit closer to like chalk paint by texture. So we'll see. Oh yeah, that, can you hear that? I'm like scraping it across the surface and it really, no, I might add a little bit more. Let's do 1 and then 2. I don't know, is that going to be too much? I don't know. We're going to go for a, we're going for a vintage look, so it's fine. It's fine. Okay, there we go. See, it's becoming a lot thicker now. Almost to like the consistency of impasto, which honestly is, I don't know why I still haven't used this up until now, because this seems like a very handy thing to use sometimes, because some paints can be very liquidy, which is not always exactly what you're after, depending on the look that you're going for, of course. Deal. Okay, good. Well, Claire, as we already discussed, I have sofas now, so you're more than welcome to come and stay for a bit and, you know, do a shopping spree across my local charity shops. It is a really beautiful. Yeah. I imagine it's probably kind of, it depends on how much texture you're gonna need. I'm gonna use this paintbrush because it's a little bit old. It's not one of my best paintbrushes, and I'm a little bit worried about, you know, ruining one of my better paintbrushes. Almost had toothbrushes, with this mixture. Ooh, it does have such a weird texture to it. It's so chalky. It's interesting. And you can like dab it on like that to get more texture if you need to. Ooh, I like this, you know. I like this. I need to get me some of those Redesign with Prima, what are they called? Chalk pastes, something like that. I can't remember the name right now, but I see a lot of people using them for these kind of more vintagey pieces. And I'm imagining that that's going to be the texture that they all have. So it's going to be a pre-mixed paint that has this kind of texture. Oh, I wonder if I mixed up a bit too much into it, because it's starting to like curdle up. Oh well, we experiment together. Hello from beautiful Topeka, Kansas, land of ours. Hello. It's not giving a gritty finish. It is. I'll see if I can, once I've painted, I'm trying to go fast because it is, you know, it's starting to thicken up. I wonder if I may have added a bit too much in there. It's starting to thicken up quite a bit. So I'm trying to go fast before this thing dries up on me completely. Because I really don't want to waste it. But again, it's one of those things that will happen when you experiment with new products that you've never used before. It's only natural that there's going to be some wasted product. Okay, it is giving it a really gritty finish. I think I might have gone a little bit overboard with adding so much of that texture paste, because I think it's a bit like gravy. It thickens up the more you the longer you leave it and the more you stir it. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a lot of grit. It's almost like somebody took paint and mixed some sand into it. And it's really hard to get it into like the little creases and crevices. But it's definitely giving it a really beautiful look. I'm having second thoughts about using the black paint over the crackle, and whether we should use the crackle at all. I don't know, because this is such a beautiful finish. You could literally almost like leave it as is, just add a little bit of aging with wax in the crevices, and that's about it. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but I'm trying to just go quick before it dries. Because I think the longer I leave it, the more it thickens up. Hello from Greece, Europe. Hi! What is the name of the colour? It is called Vintage Moss, and that's from Paint Couture. So you can buy it in UK from Just Like Home Interiors. Yeah, and so the more I like try and go over it, it becomes draggy. And it like drags some of the paint away, but it is definitely nice and very different. Unlike anything that I've ever used. So I like this. I like experiments, and I'm definitely glad that I dedicated this brush to this task. So just saying, if you're gonna use or do this, don't use your most expensive brush for it, because it's gonna get clogged up with all of the bits. So there we go, right? Let me just check. Yeah, so I've covered pretty much all of it is covered, except with the exception of like a few little creases here and there, but the paint is not really getting into there. So if you wanted to like get a perfect finish into all of the creases and crevices, you would need to wait until this is dry and then just get into those with a small brush and just paint without this texture paste added into it. But yeah, it's definitely a very different look. Okay, so this needs to go in water. Now we can get this dry. So again, I'm going to get the heat gun out. Oh, so annoying. It keeps, the cord just keeps wrapping around everything. Okay, there we go. It is a really pretty colour. Oh, thanks, Eileen. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to make a tutorial on how I made them. There is a tutorial if you type in on YouTube how to make paper, or how to make flowers out of paper, something like that. So I watched a tutorial where this girl, she made these kind of flowers just out of colored paper. But obviously I, slightly changed it with regards to what materials I use. And I'm going to post a tutorial at some point. It should end up being in my, once I've done the teapot project, it should be a part of it as well, because that's what I'm planning to use those flowers for. But we'll see how that goes. Oh yes, and so as I'm drying it, a lot more of the white kind of opens up, so it gives a really, really nice vintage effect. I don't know, I'm having second thoughts about the black. What should we do? Should I still do the one step crackle over it and go with black over the top, or should I just dry brush over the top with something with a different color? What should I do? Give me some ideas, guys. Please, oh please. Eileen says dry brush. Come on, we have 27 people watching here. Everybody, I need your input. Dry brush for Claire as well. Should I be dry brushing, or should I be doing the two-step crackle? What do we think? Two-step crackle, one-step crackle, I mean. Deep one. Dry brush. Yeah, I think. Well, 3 people said it. The rest of you did not vote. So, if you don't like the way it looks, tough. Should have voted. I'm just trying to make sure that it's all dry because we've got so much texture going on here. Once I start dry brushing over the top of it, if it's not dry, I could end up pulling away some paint and like gesso and uncovering all of that, which I'm not really worried about that much over like the frame itself because it was previously painted, so, and all of that, but I'm more worried about the glass parts and stuff. Dry brush with a creamy colour. Ooh, okay. Crackle would be lovely, but the black would be way too overpowering, I think, so dry brush. I think so too. You know, but like I always say, you know, in my head, I don't see the finished result until I'm actually, you know, I don't see how it's going to look until I'm actually in the process of making it. So when I kind of picked out what, or thought about what I should do tonight, in my head it seemed like a good idea, but now that I can actually see it in front of me, I think I could still pull it off, but it might not be the best, not the best look. Okay, so that should be dry enough. Right, what color should we use for dry brushing? So I have, are we going with a lighter color or should I go with a, yeah, I think we'll go with a lighter color. So like a, maybe Finnaba's linen. Yes, Finnaba's linen over the top, and then maybe we can add some, we'll do the dark wax, I think. Agree with the creamy color too of crackling. Yeah, no, I think we'll just dry brush anyways, but I think a creamy color overall is just going to be a better look for this project. Right, so I've got Finnaba's impasto in linen, which is, I need to buy some more soon because I am running low, ladies. And I'm going to take, which brush should I use? I'm going to use a, I'm going to use this bigger brush. So usually I stick with these for furniture, or bigger pieces in general, so for waxing or dry brushing on furniture, but I think this is going to work pretty well on this surface. There's no point, and I'm very guilty of doing it a lot of the times, is not using the right size brush for the project, but I think there's no point for me to use a smaller brush if I'm going to be covering everything in the same way anyways. Or a wash and a little dry brush. Got myself some of the linen yesterday. Yeah, it's definitely a must-have. Okay, so I'm going to lift it up. I pick up a bit of paint, dab it off. Oh yes, this is where you're going to, oh sorry, this is where you're going to see the texture come through. Okay. Oh, it's so beautiful. The texture is just delicious. I was going to say that brush is a weapon. It definitely is. Don't mess with me. Marisol, hi! Oh, that's okay. So far we've only added one coat of paint with like added texture powder. So you're not that late, and now we're just dry brushing. Hi Karen, how are you? I know. It's a good brush. And then I just try and follow the flow of the frame itself. So obviously it's oval, so I try and move my brush in the same direction. Yes. Oh my god. I mean business. When I get this brush out, you know that I'm going in for the kill, baby. Oh my god, I'm cringing hearing myself say that. I'm sorry. You didn't have to hear that. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. That is almost a broom. That brush is so huge. Yeah, but look at the area that it covers. Look at how quick it makes the process. That's what I'm saying. And I am, like I said, very guilty of not using the right size brush for the project. So what I mean by that is that some of you will remember that drinks cabinet that I did, when was it, in February, March, I can't remember, whenever it was, the black and grey one, black and grey drinks cabinet that I upcycled. I painted the whole thing with this size brush. Why? I don't know. Whenever I thought about getting a bigger brush, it gave me anxiety. So I stuck with the little one, and then since then I've talked to myself. I've sorted out the issue that I had with using a bigger brush, and it's been a game changer. So I'm now a converted believer into the fact that using the right size brush or a bigger brush for a project where it's appropriate is the way to go. Belinda would be right. Oh my god. Sam, I did not need that image. Cynthia, oh, okay, you're in the workshop. That's okay. Got a transport upgrade. Yep. She needs to live in the 21st century here with us. Oh, no. Don't pull out the big guns. Supersize the brush, yeah. Hello, Leanne. You do need that brush. But unlike the lace, I'm not sending you that. Because I'm very possessive of my brushes. Nobody touch my brushes. It's one of those things, you know, I'm happy to share everything except my brushes. So, just going around the outer edge, and then I think we'll just add some waxes, you know. I'll add some dark brown wax into the creases to show them off a little bit better, and then maybe we can go over it with some obviously, well, gold is always a very obvious choice, but I'm kind of getting a bit not bored of using gold, but a bit like, you know, I have so many beautiful waxes and I still use gold for everything all the time because it's just an easy option and it goes with everything. So if you have any ideas or suggestions for what color wax I should use to, you know, just go over like the clock and everything in a minute, then do let me know. But yeah, I'm just gonna go over this, use up all of this paint, and then I'll show you, I'll see if I can show you the texture that we got. So is it not looking beautiful? It looks like stone now. So I hope that you can see the texture that we have here. So it's very, very gritty. Obviously, in the next few days, I'll try and post pictures of this tomorrow with like close-ups and stuff so that you can see how beautiful this texture is. Oh, Jesus, this glass mat is great, but it's very loud. Right, okay, I need to get the waxes. I'm not prepared. I did not think that I'd be using waxes today, so here we are. Okay, so I need to use up this Annie Sloan's clear wax that I've had for years now. I've got like leftovers in here. So that's going to be my clear wax that I'm going to use to seal the whole thing. So now I'm going to take a clean waxing brush. So this is a Redesign with Prima waxing brush. And it has a nice pointy tip, which helps getting into all of the little crevices and stuff. So I'm just gonna go over everything with the clear wax to seal the paint. Copper is a good idea. I feel like kind of brush powering it. Oh my god, Jess, I love you. Yeah, Leanne, we've already had a lot of comments here about the brush. Okay, I like big brushes. Okay, stop discriminating against me. 2 seconds and job done, sorted. Yeah, exactly. I like copper. Did I supersize that wax pot too? I did not. It came like that. I didn't do anything. This is furniture wax, so you can buy it in a small tester pot, and you can buy it in a big not tester pot. And so I kept buying the little tester pots, and then I gave up and I said, I think at this point it's time to invest in a full-size pot. Okay, so how about brown wax or a bronze? A bronze, yes, that is a good choice as well. I've been really partial to the emerald wax as well. Okay, so that is all. See, that when you're waxing with clear wax, if you're a bit unsure about like whether you've got all of the areas and stuff, what you just do is just touch it with your hands, and wax has like a really unique a velvety finish to it, so you'll be able to feel the areas that you did get and may have not gotten. And then for my dark wax, I'm gonna use Rust-Oleum Furniture Finishing Wax in dark. So this is a, you know how I always use black wax, but I recently finally got hold of this dark wax, which is a dark brown. So I've been using it left, right and center. And for this, actually, I am gonna use a smaller brush. Didn't see that coming, did you? I like big brushes and I cannot lie. Yes. And the reason why I'm gonna use a smaller brush is because it's going to give me more control over the areas where it's going to go and where it's not going to go. And I'm also going to keep a little cloth handy so that I can wipe it away straight away. So I'm just going to do this and go in straight away, and then we wipe away the excess, and the dark wax stays in the crevices like so. It is important that if you are doing this kind of dark waxing technique, that you always need to go over with clear wax first, and then you do your dark wax, because otherwise it's not going to be that easy to wipe it away. Hi, oh, is that... Oh, Angie from Mexico. Since I found you, I've been learning from you a lot. I love your work. Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm so glad that you're learning a lot from, you know, what I share here, because it's amazing. I love when people share that kind of stuff with me. Thank you. So I'm just going to kind of, I'm not going to go over this outside bit because it's going to color it anyways. I just kind of fan it out, right? Almost like fade it out towards the outside here, and then wipe away the excess so that we have a bigger highlight on the outside. Oh, that's okay. The baby of your previous brush. Basically, yeah. Flavia, hi. Well, knocks it out of the park might be a little bit of an overstatement. Okay, so again, we just kind of go over, fan it out a little bit, and just look at how easy it is. You have a frame to upcycle. Simple. A few steps, and obviously it's taken me longer because I'm getting distracted with talking to you guys and all of that, but like if you was to sit down, concentrate on what you're doing, you can get this done in like 30 minutes, which is very, very handy if you are somebody who's trying to get maybe a prepared for a craft convention, or what you call them, oh my god, what's the word, craft market, that's the word, you know, something like that, and you need to build up some stock and you want some vintage things. Go and find yourself some frames at charity shops, or you know, wherever you can find some frames, and then you do this, and there you go. Yes, Belinda, thank you. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That really helps the YouTube algorithm to think that, oh, this is helpful. People are liking this, so I'm going to recommend this to more people. No, I'll send Penny for the popcorn. Oh, I know. But look at how beautiful. The dark wax is always the trick that just pulls the whole thing together. It just makes it look so vintage. And I'm so happy that I finally got some actual brown wax instead of always using black, because it gives you a more natural, more vintagey look. So black obviously is also beautiful and has uses, and it makes for a really, really beautiful look, but I feel like black gives you more of a like an edgier, more glamorous look, because the shadow that it gives you, it's way more contrasty. So brown is perfect for these kind of situations. Craft fair, yes, thank you, Leanne. I'm sure you understand what it's like to not to just not remember the word all of a sudden, even though you've said it a million times. And yeah, craft fair is what I'm trying to say. Oh God, I'm loving this so much. Just look at the beautiful shadows that it creates. Isn't it gorgeous? If I say so myself, bigger is always better. Well, yeah. But if you know how to use your tool, then any size is okay. You can make any size work if you know how to use it. I'm just saying. And there's no other meanings behind this at all. Please post the name of the mold used. Thank you. It's called Elysian Clockworks, I think. If somebody could write that down, anybody, that would be great. Thank you. It's hang on, I'll show you. It's this one. This is what it looks like. Sam, we're talking about brushes and tools. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. I'm talking about brushes and tools. Oh, thank you, Iris. Okay, so here is the clock. I'm almost half tempted to finish this frame and then just take it back to the charity shop. Say, see? Elysian Clockworks, yes. Thank you, Jess, and thank you, Eileen. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go over the outside to make it all match. And then, I don't know. What have we decided? Vintage gold, brass, bronze. Throw a curveball into it, go silver. No, it definitely needs something warm toned, something warm. But yeah, I think this is gonna make me for a really nice photo prop for the more vintagey projects. So again, also, if you want to take nice pictures of your projects and you're trying to figure out a way to make yourself a nice photo zone and stuff like that, then these kind of little vintagey projects, vintagey things that are more like monochrome are a great way to add pretty stuff to your background without then taking away from the item that you're actually trying to show off. Because when you're taking pictures of your projects, what you don't want is for the background to something in the background to stand out more than your actual project. So these kind of things make for a great prop. Just add in a little bit more in a few places, but yeah, this is what we're looking at the moment. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. I'm obsessed. You're probably tired of hearing me saying how much I love my own projects, but I can't help it. If I didn't love them, I wouldn't be doing this, as you've got to be crazy to be doing this kind of stuff. all the time. Bronze or copper. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what I have here, what we're working with in my stash. So, white gold, aged brass, bronze age. Do I even have any copper wax? I don't know. Brushed iron. Do I have any copper wax? Hang on. I have rose gold, I have fire ruby, but I don't have any copper, you know. I have vintage gold. So these are the only copper thing that I actually own, and that is a shocking realization that I'm having. I think I might need to do some shopping. The only copper thing that I have is Pentat's liquid metal in copper. It would look good though, wouldn't it? But I really dislike this product. Not that I don't know how it compares to others, but I compare it to the liquid metal in I compare it to liquid metal in silver and gold, and this is so thin compared to the other two. It needs so many more coats, which is unfortunate, but I mean, it can't all be good. Oh, thank you so much. Go for a bronze. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think bronze is going to be the closest, right? It's just like a darker copper, isn't it? And then brass is a nice one, but I think it's going to be too light. Alright, well, we can give it a try anyways, and then see where we go from there. Can you still see me? So I think I froze on my screen for a second there. I'll just put a little bit on my finger first before I squeeze it out. And apply it on. You know what? No, it's too dark. It's too dark, you can't really see it. Yeah, too dark. We'll go for aged brass instead. That's also a good kind of tip for you. Give it a light test on one area. You can always go over it with a different wax if it doesn't look right. Yeah, so aged brass looks better, and I'm just gonna brush it over. Not all of the rings, but a few, and kind of in a few places. See, that's what I thought, that bronze would look good, but it makes it looks too dark on this surface, and then it takes away from the dark wax that we applied on the inside of the crevices. It then kind of blends them together, and instead of showing off the rings, it takes away from them. Which again, like I said, I don't know what's gonna look good and what won't look good until I've tried it out and I've applied it, and then I can say, okay, that ain't it. This wasn't it. And then you go on a search for a better alternative. And again, in case if anybody watching is new to using waxes, so at this point I have copper paints. Oh no, actually, yeah, that's not true. I have copper paints, but I could not use the copper paint over this because I already used clear and dark wax over it, so the paint is not going to last on this finish. Even if you manage to apply it over a waxed finish, then it doesn't finish and it doesn't roll off, it's not going to last. It's not going to stay there very long. So if you want to add a little bit of color afterwards, your only option is really a wax, or alternatively you can add I've done what do you call it, metallic flakes over a waxed surface, and they hold on pretty well because gilding glue is really tacky and it's really strong. So that's kind of an extra option, but again, it's not something that is necessarily like recommended to do. So yeah, we're almost finished. I don't even know. I think I'm tempted to still add a little bit of vintage gold. How can I pass on a project without adding a little bit of vintage gold onto a few edges, just to highlight it a tiny little bit. Where's my vintage gold? There's my vintage gold. I have it in a tube, but I'm trying to use up the tin so that, because the tins dry up quicker. And then just add a little bit of gold. In a few places, and that's also a nice trick to make your project appear a little bit more interesting, is mixing waxes together. So mix different colors or different shades of waxes together, and it kind of then adds a little bit of, I looked at it from this side and it appeared a little bit more warmer, and then I'm looking at it from this side and it looks different, you know. So it kind of adds a little bit of a luster to your project. Just in a few places. So chic. With you, vintage gold is my favorite. Yeah, it was my first and it will forever stay the top tier. It's the top tier wax. Yeah, me too, Eileen. It's very very vintage today. Haven't done anything so vintage in a long time, I think. Not with so much texture anyways. That is a lot. Okay. Oh my god, I'm tempted to add, it needs a bow, doesn't it? So this is what we're looking at the moment, and I mean, it is good as is, but I'm so tempted to add like a bow over somewhere, like on the bottom, a vintage bow, or after I add the hanger bit, instead of hanging it directly onto a nail or something, I could tie a string and then add a bow. Oh, I don't know. What do we think? Do we need anything extra? Do we need a bow added to it, or should we just leave it? Because again, I'm one of those people, I have no limit. I can't stop. So I'm gonna rely on you guys today to tell me when it's enough, when we've done it enough. And at this point, I'm like, it looks pretty, but I could keep going because I don't know when to stop. So I need you guys to give me some advice, please. What are we thinking? Bow or no bow? And I'm thinking like a proper vintagey bow. Oh my god, why is nobody saying anything? You'd like to see a bow. Well, there we go. Okay, all I need is one person to say they would like to see a bow. Here we go. I'm going to... Let's make it anyways. We don't need to glue it on or anything, but perfect as is, more is less. Love it as is, but if you do a bow, you don't have to attach it. Yeah, exactly. Hold the bow in front to see. Yeah, right, okay, so I'm gonna rip a strip. So I have this cloth that I use for my little bows. So and it's one of those fabrics that rips really easily once you make an incision into it. So I cut it a little bit and then it rips like that. So I'm gonna rip a nice long strip. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I've used up all of this fabric, because I have no idea what it's called and how do I find more. But would be beautiful, always happens. Never want to stop in every project. Exactly. Stopping is the hardest part, right? So what I was saying is that instead of just hanging it on a nail, right, and like I could do like, you know, and hang it on like that on the wall. So kind of, you know, obviously it would be a little bit more neater and we need to age this, but kind of like that. Or we can make a bow, and again we need to age it before we can attach it to anything. So we make a bow, and then not even gonna cut this strip yet, just in case. And then we can add a bow to the bottom like that. Obviously it's going to be darker in similar colors, or I don't know, I like it with and without. This is not helping at all. Look for crinkle chiffon. Went to a fabric store and really had to search lots of Amazon. I'll have to have a look. Thank you. I'll have to have a look for that. Okay, what do we think? Bow or no bow? I'm waiting for responses. Okay, let's cut it. And please no. Obviously not that color. No, of course not. Right, let's color this strip first of all, and then if I don't end up using it, I can use it for something else later on. So I'm gonna open up that dark wax again. Hello, Evelyn. Okay, Colleen says no bow. Oh no. Where's my wax brush? There it is. Okay, right. Let's color this first with wax. And then we'll see how it looks. Yeah, you're here. Jury's out. Let's see it colored at moment. Preferring no bow. Let's see it colored. Even if we don't end up attaching it, at least maybe some of you will, I don't know, get some tips on whenever you need to make a bow or something. Whenever you do need a bow, at least you'll know how to make one. Okay, let's do the back side. And then if I don't end up using it, then I'll have a spare bow lying around in any case. I just like bows on everything, I think. Feel like you haven't done enough? Add a bow. Okay. So that is, and then we'll use some of this aged brass wax. Again with the same brush. Just go over it. Add a little bit of sparkle and shimmer to it. I know, Claire, you've been too good. I don't like that. Too quiet today. Don't know how I feel about that. Is that even you? Who are you and what have you done to our Claire? Okay. Let's age up this baby. Let's make that bow again. My hands are covered in wax. I'm gonna be scrubbing a lot when I'm finished with this live stream. Okay, so the bow's been aged. What do we think? Not sure how I feel about this. My nose is so itchy, I don't understand. Hard to work, otherwise I may have to go back into the office. Oh no! Be soft and pleasantly smelling, because obviously Finnabar's wax smells like, I don't know, vanilla or something. Okay, what do we think now? I don't know, I still like it with a bow. Can I make it detachable? Prefer without, although better darker. Yeah. Like that on the side. On the side? No, then it covers up the clock on the top. No, it definitely doesn't look good on the top. I'm just looking at the screen, obviously. On my computer, everything's delayed a little bit to like how I actually do it, so the message doesn't take takes a little while to reach me. Ooh, yeah, good idea. Non-permanent glue dot. I think I have some here, you know. I definitely have some somewhere. That is a really good idea. And then I can... See? That's why I need you. Smaller bow. Obviously, we'd have to chop the end off. but it is a possibility. No, small doesn't look good. Only got to scan one more thing, then I'm free. Alright, I'll have to find some of those. I'll be able to judge it better once I can step away from it and like stand it up or hang it up. So I'll leave this for now without gluing it down, and then once I've found my glue dots, I can then, because then I can take it off if I want to. Okay, right, well, that, my friends, is that really. So here it is, the altered frame turned into a I don't know, wall artwork with bow, no bow, bow, no bow, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so obviously before you all go, should have brought it closer to me, but workshop, my next workshop starts on Monday, the 12th of June. This is going to be what we're going to be making. Obviously I've used a box. This is a tea box actually. I've used a box as my base, but the main techniques that we're going to be learning about is how to make kind of realistic looking tiles in any size that you may need for your project. Cheap, which is important. And of course how to make very realistic looking leaves, how to color them in, how to create this kind of composition, how to make them look glazed. So obviously we have very interesting coloring on the tiles. They look like almost like marbled tiles, so that's what we're going to be learning how to make and create, and also how to create this very glossy, pretty, perfect glossy finish. So the workshop starts on Monday. It's going to be a 3-day workshop. If you are interested, as always, link is right under the video in the description box. Yeah, so if you're interested, I would love to see you in my workshop. Sneak peek of the teapot. There it is. I'm working on it. Phase 1 is almost complete. Then we'll move on to phase 2 in a few days, once I get everything that I ordered for it. It's going to be a very big, I'll give you a hint, hanging project. So cross your fingers that it's going to actually work out in the way that I want it to work out. About a top with ends drilling down round the frame. Yeah, maybe, if I can get them to sit in the place. It's a teapot in the background, yes. Thank you, Margaret. I said June again, there you go. Well, it's because but can you believe that it's actually July already? We're closer to 2022 than we are to 2020 right now. Can you comprehend that? My brain does not, clearly. I have not switched over to July yet. I refuse. Box arrived this morning. Oh, good. Thanks, Claire. Yes, so I mean July. 12th of July, on Monday. What is next to it? Well, next to the teapot, these are the flowers. So these are the flowers that I've been making. I've made a load more last night. As you can see, there's a lot of them. So these are the little paper flowers that I've been making. I'll post a little tutorial at some point, probably just on Instagram and Facebook. So if you want to catch it, make sure that you follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Oh, hello from Colombia. Hello. Thank you, Leanne. don't say the word Christmas. I will. I'm very ready to start getting prepared for Christmas. Um, I'm very much ready. I thought there were cakes. Oh yeah, I'm not really eating cakes at the moment either. I'm trying to stay away. But it would be nice. I would prefer if there were cakes. Hi. Hi. Just arriving. Not too late. Well, we have just finished. I'll show you. This is what we created. This live stream over the past hour and 10 minutes. So as I log off, in just a few minutes you'll be able to rewatch this in replay if you would like to see. We have some lovely textures going on there underneath, so have a look if you would like to see the whole process. Got the baubles ready? Yeah, me too. Starting to think of Christmas, yeah. From Mexico, hello! Halloween baubles first. Yes, we need to make some Halloween baubles. We need to... I'm going to try and adapt the 40 baubles. Well, not 40 anymore. Maybe like, what, 38? 37, 38 baubles that I have left. 10 centimeter plastic clear baubles that I have left. I'm going to try and adapt them to every possible occasion, season, theme that I can possibly do it to. As I have been saying, I am currently obsessing over hanging decorations, partially because I don't have a lot of shelf space around in my house. I don't have a lot of surfaces, and my walls are starting to get filled up with everything, and not everything can be placed on a wall or hanged on a wall. So I'm trying to expand into a new realm of hanging things from the ceiling because I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I'm thinking we do really neglect our ceilings in terms of decorating, don't we? Because we decorate, we like to put nice things on our floors, we put furniture, we put rugs, we do nice flooring, we hang pictures on the walls, we hang shelves, we put things on our shelves, and then the ceiling is always just, you know. So didn't realize how thick that frame was. Yes, it is very it's a thick boy frame. Wish someone would make frames like that. I know, it's always, I can never come across anything like that in actual shops. I go and look, you know, in Tesco's and Asda's and everything, and it's all just square and boring. And then it's very rare when I come across little gems like this in charity shops. I never find them in actual shops. Good night, good night. We're having Easter baubles instead of eggs. Yeah. Well, and they are fillable, so technically, as long as you don't seal them and make them so that they can be opened and closed over and over again, technically it's not a problem. Hello, oh, from France, hi. You know, I made cakes, but in the past I tried to change my name. Oh yes, yes, I remember we had that conversation last time you was here. Yeah. Right, yeah, ceilings are very neglected. It looks quite heavy. It is quite heavy. It's going to need you know, a heavy duty hanger on the back. Is it wooden? I don't think so. I think it's probably plaster, maybe something like that, because it's quite heavy. It's not resin, I don't think. So it has, yeah, I think it's plaster, but because it was already painted, it was painted by whoever had it before, it's had painted it all grey. I couldn't actually see what's underneath it. Oh, thank you. And you have a good night too. Alrighty, yes, and I'm going to log off now. Thank you so much for joining me for this live stream. I'm going to post some pictures of this lovely frame tomorrow so that you can see all of the beautiful texture that we have going on. And yeah, I hope that maybe this will inspire you to go and make yourself some pretty frames and stuff like that. Thank you so much. Oh no, Claire. Nighty nighty. I'm sorry, you got more work. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me.